Okay, people, we have a very, very special guest on today. You know him if you don't live under a rock. Host on WFAN, AM to AM, host of Talking Nets, the hardest working person in show business, Keith McPherson. What's good, brother?
What's up, man? I am the hardest person, man. They don't want to step to me. I'm tough. I'm from the streets. Just kidding. I'm from the shore. I'm from Monmouth County. I grew up in Ocean Township. Hey, first off, I want to say this is what I was thinking today before I got on here. Like, you are someone that I feel like I was drawn to because when I saw your video, I immediately, like, without even knowing, just sent it out there and retweeted it. You were like a bleacher creature in the like nice seats. But when I first saw you, I'm like, yo, this is the kind of energy we need in this entire stadium. Find me this guy. Who the fuck is this guy? Like, I'm like, this kid, I'm like, there needs to be clones of this kid in every section of Yankee Stadium.
I know, honestly, it was crazy. Like, I was working at CBS Sports behind the scenes, and when I went to this playoff game, I honestly was just like going nuts. Like, I've tried to, make a name for myself. It was 2019. I was trying to make a name for myself. I was on Twitter, Instagram, writing, doing stuff, but like that was not for the camera.
You weren't filming yourself.
That was not for the camera. So no, and I appreciate you. You put me on 4 years ago. You had me on your podcast. It was some other podcast. I mean, legitimately, what I love so much about you is honestly your dedication to the craft. Like, legitimately, you like it. And I don't know if maybe you can speak on it differently, but I don't think you care if one person's listening or 1 billion people are listening.
I don't.
That energy and focus that you have, I really like. Honestly, I'm like, damn, he's doing Talking Nets. He's doing this. He's doing the other thing. He's writing his own stuff. He's producing his own stuff. I mean, so like from afar, I was just like, when you got that gig at WFAN, and we'll get into it, I was just like so happy for you because honestly, like, we can talk about talent and there's a lot of talented people in the world, but like, if you don't have the wherewithal to do the hard work, the talent means absolutely nothing. So like, honestly, I just wanted to congratulate you. And obviously, once you got the gig at WFAN, everybody wants to be your best friend and congratulate you and pat you on the back. But like, obviously, like, I've always like appreciated you, not only because you put me on, but honestly, just the amount of work you put in and you did it the right way.
Two things. One, I didn't put you on. You were yourself. You were organic. You were natural. Like I said, you weren't filming yourself. You weren't trying to go viral. You were being yourself in the moment. What pissed me off about that video was the people around you laughing. You're at fucking Yankee Stadium. You guys are the losers. You guys are the ones I'm laughing at. What are you doing? You don't even know what you're looking at. This guy's telling you that's Garrett Cole. We need this game. Come on. Let's go. It's Yankee Stadium, right? We're supposed to be the Bronx Zoo. We're supposed to have a home field advantage like none other in the playoffs. And we'll stop talking about that game because I think it was a Tuesday at like 4:00. It was something ridiculous with the scheduling. MLB jobbed us. They didn't want us to win. And, now Garrett Cole is on our team and we still have an issue with the Astros, whatever. But the second thing that you said was like, when I started, I would go live sometimes and there would be 3-4 people watching, but I gave it the same energy. Like, I think it was Joe DiMaggio who said, I always have to play my best because someone could be watching me for the first time. So am I going into a live stream for 4 people and not going to perform like there's 4 million people? No, I'm the same guy. I have the same energy. I have the same preparation. I have the same enthusiasm. I have the same knowledge. I'm putting on a show for 4 people or 4 million people, whether it's Nets content, which nobody watches compared to as many people as the Yankees, right? But like, my Nets fans appreciate me because I bring the same energy. They know that I don't get on the Nets podcast and like tone it down. And we're in a space now where like, I'm glad you started your podcast and I will do what I can to help you because I remember in the beginning, when guys were starting out like John Boy, like Joe's McFly, like myself, we kind of got laughed at and made fun of. Like, don't quit your day job. You'll never make it. Oh, who do these guys think they are? And fast forward to now, all of those people are fans. They're quiet. They're in the background, wishing that they started something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And those are just, I mean, those are just haters. Like there's nothing that, I mean, listen, the best thing about it is, and we know, and we've been doing this for long enough, especially like on social media, there's gonna be haters, whatever it is. Like, so like, obviously you have to go through that process, but yeah, no, like I've learned, like, you know what I was going to do? I was going to make another Yankees podcast. And I really sat down and I go, why? Why am I going to do that? I know everything there is to know about football. Like, I know everything there is. I want to bring on comedians. I want to put people on that, like, have, like, you know, have a background, that go to Yankee games 60 times a year. I want to put these people on. I want to talk to them. I want to talk to whoever I want to talk to. And, like, obviously we'll get in and talk, like, you know, maybe 60% of the content, the first 10 episodes are going to be about the Yankees, and that's perfectly fine. But like, I figured, like, you know what are we going to do? I'm going to have there's going to be another Yankees show to compete with. And then you're not, like, not you, because like, obviously you would, but like other people who have big, like, Yankees talk shows, or like, you know, like even like somebody like Michael K might not want to come on because he doesn't want to like mix with the brand or whatever. So I'm just
you don't want to be you don't want it to be competitive. You don't want to be you don't want it to be a conflict of interest.
Right.
If it's just a show about you and your friends or your connections talking about whatever, then yeah, they're in the clear to do that. You don't want a company to come in and say, nah, this is like a non-compete type of thing.
Well, exactly. And like, also I have learned to like tone it down a little bit. Like I was working at Yes Network today, like behind the scenes, like editing.
Congratulations on that, bro.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's just like part-time here and there. Like I'm doing.
Yeah, but you're in the building and you say, I put you on, I didn't put you on. I give Yes Network credit for putting me on, because in 2019, when we both were kind of emerging, they put me in commercials. They put me in suites. They put me on the Yes Network social media when nobody was checking for me. There was a couple guys over there that, you know, really looked out for me. Jonathan Ziegler, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name. I feel terrible, but shout out to Yes Network. There's some people that were over there. I don't think they're there now. I think Ziegler moved on to Sinclair Broadcasting, but Yes Network has a lot of smart people in there. Not a lot of people. It's a small group of people, but they gave me an opportunity. And I know you left your other gig and you're over there now. Just grind and work hard and then do what you're doing here on the side, and it'll come to you.
Yeah. And I honestly, at the end of the day, like I could be in 10 years from now, if I don't like start something like this and I really put my foot forward and like fail a lot, and like, you know, like on Twitter, I can tweet something and gets 100,000 views, but like on YouTube now, like, yeah, it might get 150 views, and that might be your second episode. And you have to learn from that, and you have to grind, and you have to become someone that everybody knows, and not just the guy who tweets something and can get reaction because he's good at writing. Like, you have to get in front of the microphone and you got to give your opinions. Also, I want people to like really know who I am, like just in general. But I mean, let's talk about you. Let's get back into it, because I do have some questions. All right, so you're over at WFAN now. And actually, my girlfriend and I, we're driving home Friday night. We're hearing you talk about Caitlin Clark. I mean, this fan is chewing your ear off about Caitlin Clark, like comparing her to someone else. Like
Sabrina Ionescu, he was, comparing her to.
Yeah, so we're listening to that. Of course, behind us, there's a car crash, like some random person crashing a bunch of stuff. But we're listening to, like, having a great time. What's your favorite part about being on the fan?
There's a few things, but like you mentioned the callers, right? That is a roulette wheel. We're going to go to John on Staten Island. You have no idea what John's about to say. They give you a little topic, but like the topic is Yankees or Caitlin Clark. You don't know, like the guy that you heard. I said, I don't watch women's college basketball, but this girl is the story of the night. She dropped 41 points in the Final Four, back-to-back 40-point performances. This is New York. This is WFAN, the #1 sports talk radio station, the first 24-hour sports talk radio station. I'd be a fool to ignore what this girl is doing. Call me up if you know more. And I think that's something that never really happens on WFAN, because historically the hosts try to pretend like they know everything. Like they are the all-knowing sports person that you must call in and bow down to. And if you say anything ridiculous or incorrect, they're going to eat you alive. I came into WFAN with my own style, my own personality, trying to be myself. And I think that's why I've been successful. I think that's why I'm winning, because I can't be Mike Francesa. I can't be Chris Mad Dog Russo. I replaced Steve Summers. And when they said you're going to replace Steve Summers, I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. No one can replace the schmooze. That guy is one of one. I can only be me. And being me has actually like worked and shined through. And I think it was much needed for the station. How is it going for me? It's going well. It's the best job I ever had. And, I'm in my second year. It's been like a year and a half. I don't mind the nighttime shift. There are some nights like anyone else, a Friday night, right? My wife is 38 weeks pregnant. I want to be in the house with my wife and be shut down, but I'm leaving the house at 9:30 to be on the air at 10:30 and host till 2 a.m. But like I'm earning my stripes, and I'm also there for the listeners. I'm also there for the people that support me. There are people that are at work on a Friday night, working an overnight shift, doing DoorDash, driving Lyft, Uber, driving a bus, you know what I'm saying? And they listen to WFAN, and I like to be there for them. It works both ways.
No, absolutely. And I was actually gonna get to that stuff later. Like the infusion of, and I don't want to say, but it is the truth. It's like the infusion of coolness. Like, dude, my favorite thing that you do there is like you do a Friday freestyle. Like nobody else can, and
no one's ever done that.
Nobody else can do that on WFAN. I worked on shows with Boomer and all the guys and Tiki and Tierney, who are great, and I worked behind the scenes on their show too. But like nobody's bringing that energy, and that's energy that, like, honestly, that's new media type of energy that you bring. And I think it's honestly extremely refreshing, because you're right. Somebody else tries to be like somebody else that came before them, and you're being inhibitly yourself, which is honestly just refreshing. It really is. Like it's refreshing to, like, honestly, no one's even taking a call about women's college basketball. Right. Like in general, like, so like just the fact that you're there for your listeners, like I completely understand it. You know what I wanted to talk about though, real quick, and I was going to talk about where you talked about the viral video or whatever in 2019. But do you see this guy get decked in center field? This video?
Of course. I talked about that on my show Friday. And then we started talking about viral videos like Anthony Rendon grabbing that fan in the Oakland Coliseum and going to attempt to smack him. But I love Dodger Stadium. And I've been to Dodger Stadium, like, I don't even know how many times now, from All-Star Game to 2019, the Players Series, to I think the last 2 years before 2019, 17 and 18, when I went to Coachella. You fly into LA, and before you go out to Coachella, I'm like, I got to go to Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium is legit. I grew up as a kid playing, baseball games and choosing Dodger Stadium. So I've been where that guy is. Imagine someone jumping, like, it's like where their stands are more like the bleachers. Obviously, we have like 203 and then there's 103 underneath.
Okay.
But like they have like bleachers in their like pavilion area in the back. I forget what they call it now. But for that guy to jump over, hit one knee, put the ring up, he had to be drunk and oblivious. I saw he was wearing a Mookie Betts jersey, so I assume he's a fan. Now you're banned for life. And they rocked him. That guy that hit him, I said, that looked like Bobby Wagner, right? That looked like an NFL. That looked like Terry Tate off his linebacker. He hit him so hard, his hat popped off, the ring flew in the air.
I legitimately was just like, this is one of the greatest videos of like in the past 3 months. Like that was just, it was so perfect, because nobody likes a guy running on the field except for that. Like that is something that is fun. Like that is just, I don't know. It was just so perfect because he got exactly what he wanted.
Proposals at games, yes or no? Do you like proposals at games? You're not engaged to your girl yet, right?
No, not yet.
You guys have been dating for a little while. Would you propose to your girl at a Yankee game?
No.
Me either.
No, not at all. Like, unless he was as crazy about the Yankees as I, or crazier about the Yankees than we both are, the answer is no. It's always no.
Yeah.
Like, it's tacky, whatever. But like, it was just amazing, and I had to like bring that up. All right. New York athletes. I mean, I hear you on all the time with you're on with NFL athletes. You've had like Trevino on. Who's your favorite athlete? I mean, I know there's probably a list of people, but like, who's the guy maybe that you were like, oh, this was amazing, one amazing, or you didn't know was gonna be great, and yeah, who's your favorite guy in the last year?
Well, I haven't got the opportunity to interview this guy yet, but I was trying to ask. Every Thursday I did Thursday Night Live with Kim Jones, where we talked about the Giants before Thursday Night Football kicked off. Kayvon Thibodeau is my favorite Giant in a long time. Just his personality, his swag, and like how he came along at the end of the year, like that Redskins game or Washington Commanders, or Washington, yeah, not football team. They've changed their name 3 times.
And they're selling the team, so it doesn't even matter.
What a mess.
From DC.
He took over that game, and even the game against the Colts where he did the like snow angels and he wasn't apologizing for it. He's like, my job is to wreck games. He's got style. He's got swag. He came in that way. He's not going to change. I think he's going to be a great athlete in New York. But Nestor Cortez is a guy that I always put out there because, you know, for the most part, I book my own interviews at WFAN. WFAN has everybody's contact, but like as an unknown host, if you reach out to someone and say, hey, you want to come on with Keith McPherson? They're like, who the hell is Keith McPherson? I feel like I got that in the beginning, but Nestor was so organic. Nestor's girl, them being from Miami and them being in New York as a Yankee, his girl was listening to my show at night to hear what they're saying about Nestor Cortez. And then they both started listening when the Yankees weren't playing. And I forget. I think I followed him. He followed me right back or something like that. He sent me a message and I was like, he was like, you're the GOAT, bro. I listened to your show. I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on, bro. Next thing we start chopping it up, we exchange numbers. And I'm like, yo, please just come on, man. Come on. And he's such a real one. He's like, I don't want to jinx my start because he knows how heavy the pinstripes are and how much the fans like. He didn't want to go on. He's like, I don't want to jinx my start. And I also don't want to mess you up. Like he didn't want to go on with me before a start and have a bad start. And then people blame me or blame him or whatever. So we waited for a while. And I think we found a sweet spot. Maybe, I don't know when it was, but he came on with me and it was great. And then I met him at the All-Star game in LA and I met his girl and he proposed to his girl and that was great. And then he just did the Pinstripe Strong event at American Dream and I ran into him there and it was like a friend. So Nestor Cortez, I always put up there. Jose Trevino, another real one. Cool dude, down to earth, living his dream. He was in Corpus Christi, Texas, dreaming of playing for the Yankees. His dad was, pitching to him in the backyard, putting him in scenarios like, hey, it's bottom of the ninth. You're in Yankee Stadium. You got to hit a single to walk off and win. And like so many cool people. PK Subban was nice enough to do an interview when he was with the Devils last year. And there's way too many, but I always put Nestor up there.
Enough credit though that people don't know who you are. Maybe like, dude, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. Use those contact lists. Use that contact list. There's a lot of people in the business that don't use a contact list or don't want to get guests. And I know you're not one of them at all, but use the contact list.
You have to. You honestly have to. But it's tough, bro. Like when you reach out to someone and you get rejected, like, let me think who, like, not to throw Willie Randolph under the bus, but I haven't had Willie on yet. And I met Willie. And of course I'm a Yankee fan. And like, yeah, Willie is before our time, but you have respect for Willie Randolph. So I meet him, we exchange numbers and I hit him up a couple of times. And what I've found is like I had Goose Gossage on, I had Cecil Fielder on, I had Roy White on, I had Harold Reynolds on. These older folks, I'm the nighttime guy. So I'm on till 12, till 2 a.m. These guys are going to bed by 9 o'clock. So yeah. You got to get them on early, but I know I'm probably blanking or forgetting someone, but I've been able to connect.
Killed it. Nestor Cortez is a perfect, honestly, this is an easy transition for me because you said Kayvon Thibodeau and you're obviously a huge Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Huge Cowboys fan. But like, now you're on the Fan. Now you're interviewing
home of the Giants.
Now, yeah, exactly. Has your disdain for the Giants dissipated a little bit?
Well, see, like I never really had disdain for the Giants. I think growing up, it was hard to watch them win the Super Bowl in 2007 and 2011 as underdogs that no one saw coming. My older brother was a Giants fan and tried to make me a Giants fan as a kid. There's literally a picture of me at like 3 or 4 years old in a Giants like starter jacket. I went the other way and went with Dallas. And then like I guess you have this like feeling of like maybe I messed up. Maybe I made the wrong choice. Because as you get older, I'm a grown man. I'm out of high school in 2007 and 2011. I'm in college and I'm watching the Giants beat the Cowboys and go on to win Super Bowls. And majority of my friends are Giants or Jets fans, some Cowboys fans, but they get to throw that in my face. So I didn't really necessarily have a disdain. I just felt like I messed up. But then in the last 6 years before Daboll and Shane, the Giants went through it. They were bad. The Cowboys were sweeping them every year. They were a dumpster fire. So really, it was just like I got to, get a little bit of a laugh, but the Cowboys still didn't get back to a championship or win anything. Now that I'm on the fan, I troll Mets fans because I feel like that's part of it. But I don't really troll Giants fans. Like I went to Monday Night Football as a Cowboys fan. That's just what I am, what I've always been. But I also played football in college. So like when I talk about the game, I can talk about it at a deeper level than some people that never stepped out there and don't know the X's and O's. And they only like can watch it from a Sunday, broadcast. I like what the Giants have done. My first show on WFAN was the day that they fired Jason Garrett. Wow. I used to work out at the Garrett's house on on Ocean Road in Monmouth Beach, or Ocean Ave in Monmouth Beach. Jason Garrett's dad used to host workouts for like some of the top players in the shore. I actually met Jason there. So I was like, man, the universe never unconnects. My first show, I can talk about how I know the Garrett family. He used to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And what I said that night was, hey, this isn't going to be enough. You got to fire Joe Judge. You got to clean house, get rid of everyone. Gettleman, Judge, like this isn't going to be enough. And the fans demanded it and they got what they wanted. And now with Shane and Daboll and this first year of a rebuild, going to the playoffs and winning a game. And now in this offseason that just passed, what the Giants have done, how could I hate on it? It's impressive. Fair. I think everyone that looks at the NFL looks at what the Giants were able to do and they hit the jackpot. There's so many organizations that fail in front office hires and head coach hires and trying to rebuild. The Giants, they hit the nail on the head. So when I go on and talk about it, it has nothing to do with like the Cowboys-Giants rivalry. It has to do with me being an NFL fan and a former football player and appreciating what the Giants have done.
No, I understand that. I understand that completely. And honestly, like, I don't know what it is with like, especially like, I don't know. I feel like the NFL has become more like, not even a fandom of a team, because obviously you're always going to love your team and be passionate about your team, but it's such a huge commodity that like, we both know 3 wide receivers on every single team. Like we might not
fantasy football, gambling.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that there are primetime games on Thursday, Sunday night, and Monday night where they're the only game on. We all get to watch the entire league.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I understand that too. Cause like we're Yankee fans and like, I don't know, like, especially be like, I don't know. I can't name the person on the Colorado Rockies. I actually have a fantasy team now.
It's always the Rockies too. It's
always the Rockies.
It's always like, we're not watching the Rockies.
No. I don't even want to watch the Rockies sometimes when the Yankees are playing.
I can't name 5 players on the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I did get a fantasy team. I want to clear for the fans out there, whoever's listening. I have a fantasy team this year and we're taking it home. We're trying to switch the name to Hideki Matsu. I think the team name is Johnny Bananas right now. My friend made it, so we're leaving it at that. But we got Anthony Volpe. We got the 3 stolen bases. Let's get into Yankees talk. Let's start with Johnny Brito. He pitched amazing today. Absolutely. Like, I think he had 6 strikeouts, went 5 innings, first major league start. And
dirty change up. The stage was not too big for him, picking up from where he left off with 16 up, 16 down in the spring. I was fired up watching that because Clark pissed me off yesterday.
Don't get me started with Clark Schmidt. Do not, because I listen, and it's something I have to like kind of be cognizant about, because like I do kind of like work part-time at Yes Network, and like I don't want to be the guy like crapping all over like these players or whatever.
You're a
And, like,
fan. You're a fan, bro. And
I
they
know,
know that.
I know,
They know
I
that.
know.
Because I'm not supposed to do that either, but it works because radio, you rant and whatever, but like I'm in Yankee Stadium in the press area. I'm running into Cashman after talking shit about him on there.
I know that's tough. It's tough. But like, no, Clark Schmidt, and I don't understand, because we actually, like, episode 1, we had Dan Rourke on, because it was like he wanted to do a Yankees. He did a Yankees.
Dan's the man. Dan's from
Dan's great.
Central Regional High School. We used to whoop their ass in football all the time.
No, he's great. And we had our producer on, and he was like breaking down Clark Schmidt's stuff. And it's like, yeah, Clark Schmidt has great spin rate, but you know what he does? He walks. He's in the 20th percentile of walking people. 20th percentile. So like, I just can't sit there and listen to anybody that's telling me that Clark Schmidt is. And I'm not even saying that Clark Schmidt can't be a starter on the Colorado Rockies, but I don't want him starting for the New York Yankees. And then I sound like the guy who's a hater, but the eye test tells me that the guy, every single time, there's 3 balls. And it does speak to a little bit to Boone, who put him in these situations, who continues to put him in the situations. Obviously, he probably wouldn't even have been on the roster, or like he probably would have started in the bullpen if everyone were healthy. So it's not his fault, but I don't like his stuff.
Here's the thing about Clark, right? I'll never get last year's postseason out of my head, ever. I'll remember that one. That one hurt because Clark has had to learn some tough lessons. I said this on Twitter the other day, and I was like, I'm not trying to shit on the kid making his first start of the season in Yankee Stadium on a warm Saturday where everyone was jacked up, whatever. It's tough. But he's had to learn some tough lessons at the major league level about how to pitch. He's got electric stuff. He's got good stuff. But you have to learn how to pitch. What do I mean by that? If you're up in the count, don't give these guys pitches that they can drive out, right? If know where you are in the count, know who you're facing, know what you can and can't do in the game when you either have a lead or it's tight. Like, he's got to learn the little nuances, right? Yeah. So last year I felt like he was the great value brand Michael King, right? I guess we couldn't get Kraft macaroni and cheese because Michael King got hurt. We had to get the Walmart brand, or try and turn Clark Schmidt into the Walmart brand version of Michael King out of the bullpen. If you followed the Yankees AAA last year, Clark got sent down there to be stretched out to be a starter. He was in AAA, like working on his pitches, his innings, and like trying to be a starter. And then the Yankees got crafty when King went down to say, okay, Clark throws a bunch of different pitches. Maybe we can deploy him like Michael King. He got rocked and gave up homers in the postseason. He got rocked and gave up homers yesterday. He's got to figure it out faster. And the Yankees got to figure out, is he a starter or is he a bullpen guy? You can't keep having him go back and forth. If he's a starter, keep him as a starter and let him figure it out that way. If he's a bullpen guy, put him in the bullpen and let him figure it out that way. It can't be both. And I feel like that's what I'm saying. I think it's, he goes from coming out of the pen in the postseason, the highest level of baseball he had to pitch in, to now, oh, you're the number 2 starter on the Yankees. You're not a number 2 starter in this league. You're not a number 2 starter on this team. But the Yankees are not using him right, and he can't figure it out.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I get really frustrated when, like, first of all, he has no idea where the pitch is going. Like, he might have good stuff, but he doesn't know where the pitch is going. Like, he actually doesn't. Like, that's why I get so frustrated, because legitimately, I think yesterday he was averaging like 3.5 balls, like legitimately 3.5 balls, and I'm talking about that, like, pitches, 3.5.
Yeah, he's missing. Got to learn how to pitch. Throw strikes when you can throw strikes. If you're up in the count, bro, don't give these guys stuff that they can hit out. Like, the command's got to get better.
He reminds, and I don't want to say it, but he reminds me of Chance Adams. And I'll leave it at that. He reminds me of Chance Adams.
I hate Chance Adams' name coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up every week now because we lump him in with the failed baby bomber era of Greg Bird and Miguel Andujar Gary Sanchez, and
I still love Miguel Andujar. He is always will be my favorite.
I'll always defend him, but like he's fighting
He's
to stay on
horrible
the
to deal with.
Pirates. He's fighting to stay on the Pirates right now. Gary Sanchez just signed a minor league deal with the San Francisco Giants. Greg Bird was with the Blue Jays. Then the Yankees brought him back on a minor league deal. He didn't do anything. Like, that was a failed era.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. I mean, both my brothers were huge Gary Sanchez fans, and it's just something that I never was. Just because of the way he couldn't locate pitches. Obviously, he can hit the ball. All right. I guess we'll talk about the rules real quick. Did you like them? Do you like the new rules?
Of
Right?
course. I liked them in spring training. I think anyone that's hating on it is just, trying to go against. It's good for the game. It's good for baseball. These games are fast. What I will say is I like hanging out at Yankee Stadium. I don't mind a 4-hour game at Yankee Stadium. So opening day, the game flew, and I'm like, damn, it's already last call. Like, all right, like I bounce around the stadium. I go visit people in different sections. I do my thing. I drink. I have a good time, and you can't really do that. You can't and you can't miss pitches. Judge's homer, I was talking about on WFAN. I was on my way to my WFAN seat in section 124. I end up being in like 120, but on the concourse where like Legends is when Judge comes up. And this is Aaron Judge. Stop what you're doing when Judge is batting. You don't want to be do-de-do-de-do, la, 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 home run. So I stop, and of course he hits a home run. And I'm running through the concourse. Everybody's running and hugging and high-fiving. And I'm like, this pitch clock stuff is crazy. I thought I had enough time to get from section 203 to my seat in 124 between innings, and I did not. Between I'm talking about like the Yankees, the top of the first, before the Yankees came up to bat, I thought I could get there. LeMahieu, I don't know what LeMahieu struck out, so that was quick. And then Judge comes up, and I'm not in my seat yet. I'm like, all right, I got to stop and watch here. It would have been better to watch from my seat, but whatever, it's fine. I like the rules. Bigger bags, and Volpe's going to steal 162 bags. Can't throw over there too much. I think it's all good for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it too. I just want to get your insight on it because it is a topic. And honestly, I was there on opening day. It was cold. I was fine with it. And I was just honestly I thought I was going to be upset about it. Truly, I thought I'm not just not for the TV experience. For a TV experience, for our lives, 162 hours less of and it's not we're not missing games, just 162 hours less of clipping contents, tweeting, just all that stuff, I think helps. Honestly, it was cold. It was cold on opening day. I was like, I can get out of here quick.
You're right.
I'm totally cool with it. And I spent $8 at the ballpark too. So it stayed there. Not that really matters, but and I don't like drinking at the ball. I like going there and bringing it all in because we know my energy even when I have to Diet Coke. So we'll just leave it at that. All right, I have to ask you a question because I thought this Aaron Rodgers deal was done. I thought it was done. I'm sitting here now. I know you get the calls. At least you probably get at least 3 Aaron Rodgers calls a day. What are your thoughts on this? Should the Jets pivot?
No, they can't.
They can't, right? So
now you can't leave. They're too far gone. They've reached the point of no return with this guy. The Packers are who we should all be focused on. I think the Packers didn't like what Aaron Rodgers had to say on Pat McAfee. And the Packers have a quarterback. The Jets don't. So the Packers are kind of going to play hardball until they get what they want. And if what they want is a first-round pick, and there were rumors last week that they were going to settle for 2 first-rounders with an escalator to turn the first-round pick next year or the second-round pick next year into a first-round pick if Aaron Rodgers, takes the Jets to the Super Bowl, whatever. I think that with Mark Murphy speaking out at that, Wisconsin girls basketball event or whatever, Aaron Rodgers didn't like that. Then he said what he said on Pat McAfee. And now the Packers are just we're in no rush, but they are. June 1st, they would have to pay Aaron Rodgers, I think, something like $15 million or more. They don't want to do that because it counts against the cap. But what is interesting is now we're in April. We're 25 days away from the NFL draft. If it goes past then, then the comp changes for what they want from Aaron Rodgers, because then you can't include this year's draft picks. It has to get done in the next 3 weeks. And Jets fans, I feel bad for it. It's a miserable existence. You're this close to having the best quarterback you've ever seen. He actually came out and said, my intention is to play for the Jets. And this saga has been going on for like 3-4 months.
Do you think it gets done though? It has.
I do think it gets done because Aaron Rodgers is not returning phone calls for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want anything to do with them. He already verbally committed. It's just the Jets and Packers going back and forth on compensation, on, what's he worth. I think it's a 1-year deal. This guy said he was 90% sure he was going to retire until he came out of the darkness and saw how the Packers were talking about him. But if they hold this up any longer, it's just like the Jets go and sign Alan Lazard. They sign McCole Hardman. There's rumors that they're going to bring in OBJ for Rodgers. OBJ was rumored to potentially go to the Packers when he ended up going to the Rams. I don't know. The holdup sucks the most for the fans. That's why I say for Jets fans, it's a miserable existence. You started to celebrate this, but now you can't even celebrate it because it's not a done deal. And I don't know. I don't think the Packers are going to let it go past June 1st, but that's a long time to wait to know that, okay, this guy's going to be your quarterback. You want them to get started. You want them to start. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett, that's also a move for Rodgers. That's why I mean they're too far gone. He's installed the offense already. The offensive players have their system. They're working on it. They're learning the verbiage. They're getting ready for the season. But Aaron Rodgers is everything. You need him in the building.
Right. No, I agree. No, I want to get your insight. I literally to the decimal point. I agree with you. And it's like, and my really smart friends that are Jets fans are like, I don't want to give up a first round pick for Aaron Rodgers. Like, well,
you might have to. You
definitely have to, because the only other person that you could possibly get is Lamar, and you have to give up 2 if you get Lamar. So and obviously, honestly, you could argue one's better than the other, because Aaron Rodgers could go take ayahuasca and be gone. Like, he legitimately, you don't know with him. And Lamar is going to show up. Like, I think he got what Baltimore did with him is so absolutely dirty. And I mean, honestly, the fact that he didn't have an agent is one thing or whatever, but you could definitely argue that Lamar, you could have Lamar over Aaron, especially if they're both for 2 picks. So they better get this done quickly. You're absolutely right. You just nailed it on I just had to ask you, because you probably talk about Aaron Rodgers more than
every day.
Planet.
Every day. And I've tried on WFAN. I'm like, are we going to do this again? We can't let Aaron Rodgers dominate every hour of this radio station. He's not going to dominate my show. I picked up hockey this year. We can talk about the Rangers, the Devils, the Islanders. I can't keep doing the Aaron Rodgers thing. But back to Lamar, he should sign with an agent. It's penny wise and pound foolish. Penny wise and pound foolish means this guy is trying to save the 5 to 3% that the agent's going to take out of his big contract. He's trying to get all that money himself when the machine is working against him right now. The NFL machine is working against him. They don't want another Deshaun Watson contract. They don't want another guaranteed contract. Well, you need someone to go out there and finesse and finagle and figure out how to get you your money right now. Yeah. You're not able to do it on your own. And in representing yourself, your feelings have gotten hurt. You don't want to play for the Ravens, even under a $32 million franchise tag. Your feelings are hurt now because of what they've done to you and how they've treated you. He's got to sign with someone for this to get done. I don't think the NFL, I don't think there's one team in the NFL right now that's going to give up 2 first-round picks for him. Not even the Jets, even if the Aaron Rodgers thing falls through. Not even the Jets.
Yeah. I don't know. I have this weird feeling he's going to end up on the Colts. I don't know why, because they have the 4th pick, so it doesn't even really make sense. But that was, I don't know. It just feels right. The
Colts are a mess.
Yeah, they're a mess, but
Phil Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan.
Exactly.
And then this year they had Matt Ryan, Sam Ehlinger, Nick Foles, and now there's rumors that they want to draft Will Levis out of Kentucky. Don't do that.
Yeah. No, I think Jonathan Taylor's young. You put him in the backfield with Jonathan Taylor. I don't know, because I feel like the Colts they're always good at defense. They figure things out, and the South stinks. But I had one more question for you about football. Is it bittersweet to see your boy Zeke go?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay. Oh, man.
Yeah, all right. So basically, Keith and I are on the same wavelength because running backs don't mean anything.
Okay, so give me like 2 minutes to get this out. When Zeke forced his way into a 6-year, $90 million contract, he held out. He went to Cabo. It was Tony Pollard's first year. So the Cowboys weren't sold on the rookie yet. He wasn't the Tony Pollard we saw last year. Zeke had been 1,000-yard rusher, one of the best running backs in the league. Dak wasn't even really Dak yet. Dak needed him. He made Dak better. They called his bluff. Jerry Jones first said, Zeke who? And then he ends up paying him the largest contract, where it's like that contract made sure that running backs don't get that kind of contract anymore. The Christian McCaffrey contract was before that. I think the Alvin Kamara contract was around the same time. You're not going to see a running back get a deal like that anymore. $15 million a year. Zeke signed DJ LeMayu's contract in the NFL, which is nuts. But he fell off a cliff. He doesn't have the speed anymore, acceleration anymore. Guy gets like 2-3 yards per carry. His greatest asset is his pass blocking, that he can pick up a blitzing linebacker. It's not bittersweet for me because the Cowboys found a way to have the most expensive running back room in a league where you're not supposed to draft a running back high or pay a running back. They tagged Tony Pollard, and he's making 10 point whatever on the franchise tag. And if they would have kept Zeke, Zeke's cap hit was going to be $16 million. So you would have $26 million tied up in 2 running backs. That's idiotic. Like, they talk about capologists. Like, that's the dumbest thing. Like, a capologist would laugh at you. Like, how did you end up in a league where you can get undrafted running backs? You can draft a running back like Isaiah Pacheco out of Rutgers in the 7th round, and he's your leading rusher, and you go on and win the Super Bowl like the Chiefs did. I know Patrick Mahomes is a freak. That's different, but that it's still case in point.
You nailed it.
I don't care about Zeke. If the Cowboys actually want to win, right? Tony Pollard got hurt in that game against the Niners. 20 points wins you that game. Once Tony Pollard got hurt, they were cooked because Zeke wasn't Zeke was no threat. The Niners, they didn't have to worry about the run. They could sell out to stop the pass.
Yeah, no, Tony Pollard's a beast too. Like, I think he's a top 10 running back. Like,
hopefully he comes back healthy and he's ready to go.
He'll be fine.
His handle is TP playmaker, because that's what he is. You could throw him a swing route, a screen route, hand him the ball, and he's taking it to the crib.
He's unreal. He'll be a top 10 draft in fantasy. Like, if he'll be top 15.
Be a top running back for sure.
I mean, he's amazing. He's unbelievable.
Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry. Probably Tony Pollard.
Were a better team when Zeke was not on the field and was hurt those games, and Pollard was the feature back. Yep. And obviously, you want to save your backs for the postseason and everything. But I mean, and Pollard's a beast, and he's gonna have over 1,200 yards. So, all right, we did this last. I'll get you out of here in like 10 minutes. We had this last thing called tried last episode. I don't really know what I'm doing. We're doing a segment. Call fill in the blank. The energy at Yankee Stadium was a blank out of 10 on opening day.
Oh, it was a 10 out of 10. It was a 10 out of 10.
So
for me,
go ahead. Sorry.
The bleachers were turned up. Suite level was turned up. 100 level was turned up. It's a family reunion, and it's a fresh start. We say Happy New Year because it's like the year doesn't start until the Yankees are back on the field chasing 28. And for them to go out there behind Garrett Cole, 11 Ks, Judge homering his first at bat, Glaber silencing some critics and some haters, and then they blanked them 5-0. The energy was a 10 out of 10. We sang Frank. We partied in the streets. I lost my voice. I got on WFAN that night. I couldn't talk. And I felt like, I'm like, my bad, but like, this is authentic. I was yelling from the time I got there at 10 a.m., linking up with the creatures till the time I left at like 5:30. We were partying outside of Twins. It was cold, so that, had an impact on it too. But for a cold opening day, with Aaron Judge as captain, with Garrett Cole looking to, build on what he did in the postseason and start a season where there's no way in hell he's giving up 33 home runs again, the fans brought it. The energy was 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree. I just needed to hear from you because you are the Richter scale. I felt it. I was walking through I was my energy was at like a 3 or a 4 because I was just like, I don't know. I just was feeling it out on opening day. People were going nuts. They were insane. Like I got off the train and people were just fired up. So I'm happy that because you are the Richter scale for that. You know when the people need to be loud, and when they do need to, I'll run to the stadium and I'll scream my face off. All right, Anthony Volpe will have blank stolen bases in 2023.
Man, I mean, you can't go off the rate that he's at now, but I legit think this kid can steal 40, 50 bags. I'm putting it out there. If he stays healthy, because that's what he does. He gets on base and it's almost like a given. Like, oh, I'm on first, I'm definitely taking second. And with these new rules, where they can't throw over more than twice, and with these bigger bags, it's like perfect timing for him. He stole 50 bases last year. It's not going to be much different for him taking off this year, especially when these pitchers have to mind the clock and they know they can't throw over a bunch of times. He's going to hit. We saw him get 2 hits yesterday. If he stays healthy and he hits, I'm putting him in. I'll say 45 stolen bases.
Amazing. It's amazing. I had him pegged at third. I might be the number one Anthony Volpe fan now. I might be saying a lot, but like before preseason, people were killing me because I was like, the kid deserves a job. Obviously, it was just more of an eye test thing than anything. But like, I was like, this kid deserves it, and it was based off the speed. I was like, if he's in the lineup every day, he's going to get 35 steals. But if he gets 45 steals, like
he belongs. He belongs. Baseball is not hard for him. He's excelled at every level. And I think as the year goes on, he's going to get more and more confident. He's going to play away from Yankee Stadium where it's quieter and it's a little more relaxed. I got him at 45 stolen bases. He is that part of the team. Like, they need him to steal 45 bases this year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. The Yankees will win blank games in 2023.
100. They were this short last year with 99. This is going to be another 100-win season, especially with playing, all the different teams. And also, like, Judge is in God mode right now. Like, Judge has hit a level where what else? Like, I broke the AL home run record. I got the big money. I'm the Yankee captain. Baseball is not hard for me. And when guys like Giancarlo Stanton are following up, Anthony Rizzo following up, Gleyber Torres, Donaldson, these other guys are picking it up around him. The Yankees should win 100 games again this year.
All right. I love that. I think the total is that like Vegas has a 94.5. So love that. And honestly, it really doesn't matter. The number of games doesn't matter. It matters what happens at that.
Stay healthy, man. What happened last year was they had some injuries and they nosedived. They were at such a ridiculous pace to start the season that we knew they couldn't sustain. Injuries hit and they started to collapse. They should have won 100, probably 105 games last year.
I agree. This is probably be the easiest question for you all day is blank will win the national championship game on Monday.
UConn Huskies, local area team, and they've been there before, and they have the pedigree and the history. And for Hurley, man, I think it'd be awesome to see Hurley get a national championship just to solidify him, put a stamp on him, as if he wasn't already solidified and stamped. But like, this guy comes from a basketball family, a lineage of great basketball players and coaches. I'm going with UConn.
Yeah, love that. I mean, I had Miami 50-1, so it kind of hurt yesterday. $50, 50-1. So I'm like sitting there. I'm like, nice to win $2,500 right now.
Bro,
but
I stopped. I deleted the app. I'm popped. Like I'm hurting. Like the amount of money that I lost on March Madness, I don't even want to add it up. I'm glad I got paid Friday.
This is what you do next year. This is because I've broken it down to a science now. You take 3 teams, you put $50 on 3 teams, and you just let it sit because that's all. Because like
parlays are the dumbest thing. I did a bunch of parlays.
Ever.
You get this close, man. I think UConn in the game when I forget who they beat, Michigan State. And I think the over-under was 25.5. And I took the over and the final score was 125. and I would have won. I think I would have turned like 50 into like 1,000 or more. I was crushed off that.
No. Honestly, parlays are stupid. They are. Futures are fun to do, like, like people who put on a bet on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl or whatever, 20-1, put it in, you set it and forget it. Then I like those better, or just like a straight up bet. And like what during football season, that's really when I excel. I don't touch baseball. I bet $1,000 on the Yankees 2 years ago that they would have a better record than the Red Sox. Remember when they tied? They had the same exact record. So never again betting on baseball. But football season, like that's really when I devour that stuff. But college basketball,
Me too.
college basketball is just such a crapshoot.
I don't know these players. I don't know. I'm just hoping to get lucky. In the NFL, I know who's going to score touchdowns. I know who can beat who. That's when I really cash out.
You absolutely do. And then and then you already mentioned them before, but Odell Beckham will play for the blank in 2023.
Chiefs. No, I want him to play for the Jets, man. There's rumors about the guy. He wants $20 million a year. He wants a multi-year contract. He wants $15 million a year now. He just came out and said, like, people are just talking. I like that he showed up in Arizona to be present in front of the owners and GMs and coaches. The Jets should sign him. He's familiar with the area. He's already been here. He says he wants to come somewhere and like settle down with his family and his son. His wife used to be a Wild and Out girl. I was talking about this on WFAN because I worked at MTV when she was a Wild and Out girl. Lauren Wood, they call her Lolo. She's fine, super pretty girl. They're not married, but they have a 1-year-old kid together. And I saw she's doing like episodes of Ridiculousness, so she's still involved with MTV. She's familiar with New York City in the area, so they should bring him home.
I love it. All right, we have one question left, and this is going to be tough for you. You've been injected with True Serum. It's November 1st. Is Keith McPherson going to be watching the Yankees in the World Series, or will it be another disappointing season?
It'll be another disappointing season. Yeah, I'm sorry. I look at my wall. Like,
right.
I've been waiting to put another patch. It's 2009. I swear to God, today I was talking to my wife about the fact that we started hooking up in college, and our relationship started that year. The Yankees won the World Series in October. I hadn't hooked up with my wife yet. I think we hooked up for the first time in like December, but she used to party at my college house where like the Yankees won the World Series. We're popping champagne. We have multiple kegs, bottles. We're playing beer. Like, I threw a party for every series, and the World Series happened. I was dating my old girlfriend from JMU, and she wanted to like come visit me. And she's like, I'm not coming to visit if you're throwing a baseball party. And I'm like, don't fucking come then. Like, you should already know what time it is. You should already know what type of time I'm on. Same girl. Her dad got a tour of Yankee Stadium, new Yankee Stadium, before it was reopened and as it was being built, and asked to bring her, and she declined. I'm like, are you an idiot? Anyway, clearly didn't end up with her. But for the last 14 years that I've known my wife, built my relationship with my wife, proposed to my wife, married my wife, now we're expecting our first kid. That is the duration of time since the Yankees went to and won their last World Series. It's crazy.
The True Serum really came out. And you know what? Baby McPherson's gonna bring us that good luck. He or she is.
How crazy would that be? The year my son is born, 23, he'll be alive to see the Yankees get back to the World Series. I just know that so much has to go right for that to happen, and so much has gone wrong in the past. If the Truth Serum is coming out, and if we just were talking about betting, if I had to bet on it happening, I'm not betting on it happening because, like, it's going to go right for someone else and it'll go wrong for us. Shit, we're injured right now. We were just talking about Clark Schmidt as our number 2 starter. He's not a number 2 starter. IKF played center field today. Where the hell is Harrison Bader? Like, come on.
Oh, maybe we should have started with the True Serum. I love it. I love that. And okay, so next time we get you on, I will, because your background is so cool. I'm gonna make this room. I'm gonna make you proud and make a nice background in here.
It takes time.
I'm gonna try my hardest. Keith,
framed pictures, like from Jeter's last game. Like it
Yeah,
takes
no, it's
time, man.
I know it looks good, and I think I have the stuff. It's just like I need to set it in the right corner. I took like a lot of take it behind the curtain. I try to put I have like my TV that's usually standing back there, and I wanted to put something behind it, and it's glare. But I'm gonna figure it out for you. All right, I'm gonna figure it out.
This is my fourth version of this because I've moved, every year the last 4 years, living in like Jersey City, Hoboken, Weehawken area. But yeah, it takes time, man. This didn't come together overnight. You're gonna need to take like a week or like a whole weekend and make it a project.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Okay. It's been nothing but a pleasure. Nothing but continued success on WFAN and your career and your baby. Let's go, Yankees. I really appreciate you coming on for episode 2. Go listen to him. KM to AM WFAN. The man, the myth, the legend, Keith McPherson.
Appreciate you, bro. Always been a fan. Like, it's real. It's natural energy, bro. Like, from the first time I saw you, I'm like, find me this guy. Like, this guy gets it. This guy's showing up to the stadium, trying to win and trying to do his part. And, I'm glad we've stayed connected over the years. It's funny now, it's 4 years later, but keep pushing, bro. And you got me in your corner. Thanks for having me on.
You're the best.